Hi dear learners, welcome to APCC LMS portal. This is Dr. Y. Polinaidu, LMS presenter, lecturer in zoology from Government Degree College, Srikakulam. Today I am going to discuss about one of the important topic from 2nd BSc 3rd semester cell biology. I would like to divide the content into 6 parts like objectives, introduction, history, chromatin, chromosome structure and types, chromosome functions, and finally summary. Let me explain you about objectives of this topic. After attending this lecture, a student can able to distinguish between chromatin and chromosome, and he can know the research contributions of scientists regarding chromosomes, and the student can describe the chromosome structure. He or she can know the various types of chromosomes, and they can able to explain the functions of chromosomes. Before that, I would like to brief about the types of chromosomes in prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Generally, the chromosome that is present in prokaryote is single and circular in shape. In addition to single circular chromosome, they have self-replicating round particles called plasmids. These all structures are present within the cytoplasm. There is no proper nuclear membrane. But in case of eukaryotes, the chromosome is surrounded by nuclear membrane and they are linear. The ends of the chromosomes are free and covered by histone protein. If you want to observe this chromatin or chromosomes, you must observe the process of mitosis. There are 3 important phases. To observe chromatin, interphase is the key phase. To observe the shape and sizes of the chromosome, we have to observe metaphase and anaphase. We will see what are the processes that are going to take place in mitosis. You can observe an interphase or resting phase. Generally, it is not a resting phase. In this phase, we can observe growth phase 1, synthesis phase, growth phase 2, in which chromosomal number increased or doubled. When the cell attains a maximum size, then it will undergo division. So first karyokinesis, then cytokinesis. In karyokinesis, in early prophase, the chromosomes looks like a thread, but during course of time, chromatin condenses to form chromosomes in the late prophase. As you can see, in prometaphase, the chromosomes are moving towards the center of the cell. Then in metaphase, finally they reach the center position of the cell. The nuclear membrane is dissolved, spindle fibers attached to the centromeres, and in anaphase they have definite shapes and they move towards the polar regions, entered into telophase that results in formation of 2 different cells after forming 2 nucleus. These are the things we must know to understand chromatin and chromosomes. Now I would like to tell about the research history, contributions of different scientists on these chromatin and chromosomes. In 1848, chromosomes were first discovered by Hofmeister in Tradcansia pollen grains. In 1875, Strasburger observed the structures in nucleus, but the chromatin word coined by Walter Fleming in 1879, and the chromosomes, colored bodies, the term coined by Waldeyer in 1888. In 1902, the chromosomal theory was proposed by Sutton and Boveri, and in 1953, DNA structure was explained by Francis Crick, James Watson, and Wilkins. All these research findings tell the importance of chromosomes. Till 1956, people believed that human somatic cell have 48 chromosomes, but after Tissot and Levin findings, it is determined that human somatic cell has 46 chromosomes. Now we are going to discuss about how chromatin condensed into chromosome. Nucleosomes are the structural entity of chromatin. Woodcock observed some thickenings on chromatin, and Adat named those thickenings as nucleosome. Nucleosome are also known as new bodies, and the nucleosome core particle is made up of 146 base pairs of DNA, a deoxyribonucleic acid that is wrapped around a histone octamer nearly about 1.67 left-handed superhelical turns. A histone octamer is made up of two copies of histone proteins like H2A, H2B, H3 and H4. Here you can see the diagram, the DNA double helix, it wrapped around histone proteins, histone octamer, and those nucleosomes condense to form a chromatin fiber in solenoid shape. Then the solenoids shows chromatids joined by centromere. Finally, you can observe a chromosome. Linker DNA, which measures nearly about 60 to 80 base pairs, that helps to join nucleosomes in association with histone H1 protein. Now we will discuss some more about chromatin. As you can see in the diagram, how a 2 nanometer diameter DNA double helical structure condensed to form a 1400 nanometer chromosome. Generally, a human somatic cell has 2.2 meter of DNA, means the 46 chromosomes are measured nearly about 2.2 meters. Even though the cell is microscopic, it accommodates 2.2 meters of DNA in it because of supracoiling nature. Supracoiling is the characteristic feature of eukaryotic genome. The nucleosome core, which measures about 10 to 11 nanometers, then themselves coil into a solenoid shape, that is nearly about 30 nanometers. These solenoids form chromatids, which shows chromonemata fibrils. They may have a 2 fibril or a 4 fibril or 6 fibril based on the species. The number varies, but they maintains two different coils, paranemic and plectonemic. Finally, the chromatid measures about 700 nanometers and the chromosome measures nearly about 1400 nanometers in diameter. This chromatin is again divided into two different types. The DNA that is loosely packed and stains lighter with the fuelgen, that is called euchromatin, and the DNA tightly packed and stains darker with fuelgen is called heterochromatin. The euchromatin is a gene active region which has more number of active genes and facilitates transcription. It shows high guanine and cytosine nucleotide content. The major portion of the genome in interphase is euchromatin, whereas the heterochromatin that is present at centromere and telomeres is gene poor and it shows high adenine and thymine nucleotides. This heterochromatin is again facultative type and obligatory type. The facultative chromatin is sometimes active, but the obligatory chromatin is permanently inactive. Generally, you can observe in bare body of human female. If you look at the structure of a chromosome, it is a complex network of proteins and DNA, and these chromosomes are the basic inheritance units. These are varied structures from species to species. They have main parts like, as you can see the diagram here, a cell which has nucleus. Within the nucleus, number of chromosomes are accommodated, and each chromosome, if you see, you can observe the structures like chromatid, centromere, telomeres and secondary construction. Now we will discuss in more details about chromosome. You can see the diagram here. Chromosome has two chromatid arms. One is short, known as P arm, and the other one is long, known as Q arm. The term chromatid was proposed by McClung in 1900. Generally, chromosome has matrix and pellicle, which is non-genetical in constitution. The matrix is also known as chromoplasm, and it shows number of fibril-like structures called chromonemata. These chromonemata fibers maintains plectonemic coils during mitosis and maintain paranemic coils during meiosis. As you can see in the diagram, the two chromatids are joined by, as you can see in the diagram, the two chromatids are joined by a primary construction which is known as centromere. The centromere holds chromatids and it also provides an attachment point to complete replication, and it is surrounded by kinetochore which helps to attach with spindle fibers during the process of cell division. As you can see in the diagram, there is another construction known as secondary construction which are useful for the formation of nucleolus. So they are also called as nucleolar organizer regions, and the chromosomal part that is round and beyond this NOR region is called satellite, and chromosomes which have satellites are called sat chromosomes. And here one more part of chromatid is telomere. The terminal part of chromatid is called telomere. They have repetitive DNA and they are useful for protect other genes from end replication problem. After each round of replication, the length of telomere reduces. So once it disappears, the cell will die. You can see the diagram. Chromosomes shows univalent and bivalent natures. The two identical copies of chromatids known as sister chromatids, they have similar alleles for a character. They are known as dyad. S phase of interphase, each pair of chromosomes have 4 chromatids called tetrad or a bivalent chromosome, as you can see here in the diagram. They are joined by a cohesin protein and separated from each other into 2 different cells during mitosis or meiosis II as univalent chromosomes. If you look at the number of chromosomes, they are constant for each cell in the body of a particular species. Their number is fixed throughout the life of an individual, and all members of a species have a definite number of chromosomes. So they are species specific. In diploid condition, they have 2 copies of each chromosome. The interaction between these 2 copies of gene gives rise to various forms of dominance. If you look at the smallest chromosomal number in ant and flatworm, in diploid condition, they have 2 chromosomes only. Ant Myrmecia pilosylla and flatworm Mesosoma. And in the highest number of chromosomes you can observe so far is Alacantha, a protozoan, which shows 600 chromosomes in diploid condition. And a plant, Ophioglossum reticulatum, it is a polyploid plant. It shows chromosomes like 1260. You can observe here different species of animals shows a definite number of chromosomes. For example, man, the diploid set of chromosomes are 46, chimpanzee 48, a rat 42, goat 60, like that. You can see the remaining specific chromosomal number in different species. If you observe the total set of chromosomes that are present in a cell, that condition is called euploidy. If a single set of chromosomes are present, as you can see in gametes, that is known as genome. Generally, somatic cells have diploid number of chromosomes, means each chromosome has 2 sets. And in polyploidies like triploidy, tetraploidy, you can observe in plants they have multiple sets of chromosomes. If there is any abnormality in this chromosomal number that leads to aneuploidy, as you can see the diagram here, diploid set of chromosomes in human female. If a single chromosome is lost, then it is called monosomy. If one chromosome is additional, it is called trisomy. Like that, we can observe nullisomy, tetrasomy, double monosomy and double trisomy. Look at the shape and size of the chromosomes. The shape that is observed during anaphase mostly looks like English alphabets V, L, J and I, as you can see in the diagram. And the shape depends on the location of centromere in the chromosome. And come to size. Generally, the chromosome size varies in different species. The diameter is about 0.2 to 3 micrometers. Length varies from 0.25 to 20 micrometers. Till now, the shortest chromosome was observed in fungi that measures about 0.25 micrometers, and the longest chromosome is observed in a plant species, Trillium, that measures about 30 micrometers. Generally, the size observed during metaphase of division phase, and the technique used for measuring the size is called karyotyping. Karyotyping means chromosomes are analyzed by arranging in a descending order based on their sizes by keeping the centromeres in a straight line. As you can see, the male and female karyotype in this diagram. In some species, the entire chromosomes all are similar in size, that's called symmetrical, but in some species like man, chromosomes are varied in their size, so it is asymmetrical type. You can observe the gradual decrease in size in the karyotype of male and female. Come to the types of chromosomes. Chromosomes can be classified into 4 different ways, based on the role, based on the pair formation, based on the location of the centromere, and according to the number of the centromere. Let us discuss about type of chromosomes based on the role. The chromosomes that carries genes for somatic characters are called autosomes, and the chromosomes that are involved in sex determination are called allosomes or sex chromosomes. As you can see the diagram, the mother and father are producing gametes with allosomes, and during fertilization the sex is determined based on these allosomes. And second type of classification is based on pair formation. Homologous chromosomes means a set of maternal and paternal chromosomes that pairs up during what you call prophase of division phase. And you can see the diagram. They are in similar size, shape, and they have genes governing the same traits of a character. See, sometimes the heterologous chromosomes, in contrast, they are different in their size, shape, and function. They do not belong to the same pair. And the third type of classification of chromosomes is based on the location of centromere. Here, metacentric and submetacentric chromosome pictures are there. You can see metacentric chromosome has a centromere at the center. The P and Q arms are equal in size. Generally, they look like a V alphabet during anaphase. In human chromosomes, 1, 3, 16, 19, and 20 are belong to this type. And the second type of chromosome is submetacentric. The length of P and Q are almost similar but not equal. It looks like a L alphabet during anaphase. Chromosomes 2 and 4 to 12, 17, 18, and X chromosomes of human beings are example for this type. Next, acrocentric chromosomes. In acrocentric chromosomes, P arm is very shorter than Q arm, J-shaped during anaphase. Chromosome number of human being 13, 14, 15, 21, 22, and Y are this type. Telocentric chromosomes, these are absent in human beings. The P arm is barely visible or absent. The Q-arm is long and it looks like a rod or eye-shaped during anaphase. The chromosomes of house mouse are example for this. As you can see, the acrocentric chromosome picture here, chromosome number 21, and the types of chromosomes, metacentric, submetacentric, acrocentric, telocentric chromosome pictures here, and you can look at the centromere position. All these are looks like V, L, J and I alphabets. Then come to a fourth type of classification of chromosomes according to the number of centromeres. Generally, a chromosome has one centromere known as monocentric is normal type, but sometimes a chromosome may be divided of centromere due to breakage of chromosome, which leads to lethal effect. But if a chromosome has two centromeres, it is called dicentric. You can observe a dicentric chromosome during homologous chromosomal pairing. And fourth type is polycentric, where the centromere diffused and looks like many centromeres. You can observe this type of polycentric chromosomes in insects and Ascaris. Now we are going to discuss about the functions of chromosomes. Chromosomes are responsible for cell division, replication and transcription. The chromatin that condenses into chromosomes, which is known as DNA packing, that helps for the protection of DNA from damage. And these chromosomes, they have genes and they regulate the gene expression. They are responsible for determination of sex in the embryo, mitogenesis at the time of fertilization, and these chromosomes are the stores of genetic information and they are responsible for transfer of genetic information from one generation to another generation. Now we would like to conclude the entire talk. Till now we have discussed about the differences between chromosomes of prokaryotes and eukaryotes in our first slide. Then research contribution as a part of history, and we discussed about chromatin and chromosome, and we distinguished the structures, and we described about the structure of chromosome in detail. We discussed different types of classification of chromosome, and we explained the functions of chromosomes. Thank you.